So hi everyone, a very good evening and welcome to today's session on profit and loss. Now profit and loss is also a very important topic from the quantitative ability section for most of the bank exams. So what we will be doing today is like how we have been doing all our previous sessions. We will first look into the concepts that you need to know from this topic, and then we will start solving questions that has been previously asked from this topic in the bank exams. Let's start. Now, the first thing that you need to know in profit and loss is there are a few basic definitions, okay, which all of us should be very clear with. Now, all these definitions, see, even if you are learning aptitude or not learning aptitude, you will come across these definitions in our day-to-day life, right? When you are buying an article from the shop, right? So profit, loss, discount, what is marked price. So all of these terms that you need to know to understand this topic better are terms which we use regularly in our day-to-day life. Okay, the first term. Now I want you all to give me the definitions of these terms, right? What is cost price? What is cost price? The price at which an article is bought by a trader is called as the cost price, okay, or that is generally considered as the actual price of the article. Now, next term that we should know is selling price. What is selling price? The price at which the article is sold by the trader is called as the selling price. And next term, profit. What is profit? Whenever the selling price is greater than the cost price, then we say that it is a profit. For example, a trader is buying an article for 100 rupees. So the cost price of the trader is 100. He is selling the article for 120 rupees. So the selling price of the trader is 120. So what is happening? He is getting more money, right? For a product that he actually bought for 100 rupees, he is getting 120 rupees. So his profit is 20 rupees, right? The selling price minus the cost price. Similarly, if the trader is selling the same article which he bought for 100 rupees at 80 rupees, what is happening? He is selling it at a loss of 20 rupees, correct? So we say that the trader has incurred a loss when the cost price is greater than the selling price. So these are the basic definitions: cost price, selling price, profit and loss that we should know. Now, coming to the next set of definitions that you know, the next important definition that we need to know is what is marked price. See, marked price is nothing but MRP. See, when you are buying an article, right, there is a price that is printed in the article. MRP is equal to so much, correct? So marked price is the price of the article that is marked in it, right? The price that is marked in the article is called as the marked price. But see, sometimes whatever is the MRP, the trader will sell the article for the same MRP. So in such cases, the marked price is equal to the selling price, correct? Now I'm buying a biscuit packet. It is printed 5 rupees for the biscuit in it. So the marked price of the biscuit is 5 rupees and the selling price, if I am paying 5 rupees, then the selling price is also 5 rupees. So in that case, the marked price is equal to the selling price. But in certain cases, what happens is the person who is selling or the shopkeeper, right, they decide to give, there will be some sale that is happening, they want to sell more products. So what they do, they give a discount, right? Sometimes they will say that this biscuit, like the marked price in the biscuit will be 5 rupees, but there will be a 10% off in the biscuit. So such cases discount comes into place. So what is discount? Discount is nothing but the difference between the marked price and the selling price, okay? So discount is generally given on the marked price of the article. Let's say a biscuit packet costs 100 rupees, and so it costs 100 rupees and the marked price in the biscuit is 100 rupees. Now the trader is selling the biscuit at a discount of 20%. So at what price is he selling it? The trader is selling it for 80 rupees. Okay, so always remember, discount is always calculated on the marked price. Okay, so these are very few basic definitions. I'm sure all of you know this. I just recollected it for you. Okay, if you have any further doubts in any of these definitions that we discussed, always look back into our video lessons. So let me share my screen now. We will also discuss a few formulas that all of you should know before we start solving the questions from this topic. Now the terms we have seen. Now some of the important formulas. So the first term that we should all know is how to calculate, the formulas that we should know is how to calculate the profit percentage. So generally, how do we calculate the profit percentage? Profit percentage is always calculated on the cost price, okay? So profit percentage is the selling price minus the cost price divided by the cost price into 100. So whenever profit percentage is asked, always calculate it in terms of the cost price, unless in the question they are mentioning that profit is calculated based on the selling price. Only in that case the denominator will be selling price. Otherwise we always put cost price in the denominator. What is selling price minus cost price? That is nothing but the profit. So to calculate profit, what do we do? Profit divided by the cost price into 100. Similarly, what is loss percentage? Loss percentage is again loss divided by the cost price into 100. Now what is loss? Loss is nothing but the cost price minus the selling price. When there is a loss, the cost price is greater than the selling price. So this is profit percentage, loss percentage. Now similarly, discount percentage, correct? See, we know what is discount. Discount is equal to mark price minus the selling price. And remember, I told you discount always calculated in terms of the marked price. So what is discount percentage? Discount percentage is nothing but the discount that you get, marked price, minus the selling price divided by the marked price into 100. Okay, remember discount is always calculated in terms of the marked price. So these basic formulas you should know. Now the next important concept that comes in profit and loss is successive discounts. So what is successive discounts? Let's say that the question will be of this type. See, there is an article worth, let's say, 100 rupees. Now you are offering a discount of 10% on it, followed by a discount of 20% on it. Okay, on an article which is costing 100 rupees, the trader is offering successive discounts of 10% and 20%. So what is the net discount that is being offered by the trader? So this is a case of successive discount, that is more than one discount is being offered. Okay, an article costs 100 rupees. First the trader is offering a discount of 10% followed by a discount of 20%. So generally the question is, what is the net discount being offered by the trader? See, all of us have a habit of doing just say 10% he is giving, then he is giving 20%, so totally he is giving 30% discount. No, that's not right. That's not how you do it. See, what you have to remember here is that the cost of the article is 100 rupees. So he is giving a 10% discount on the article. So now what is the new cost of the article? 10% of 100 is 10. Correct? So the new cost is now 100 minus 10 or 90 rupees. This 20% discount that he is giving is not on this 100 rupees. It is calculated on this 90 rupees. So 20% of 90 is what? It is 90 into 20 by 100, that is 18, correct? So the new price at which he is selling is 90 minus 18, correct? That is equal to 72. So an article which was actually costs 100 rupees, he is selling it for 72 rupees. So what can I say? What is the net discount percentage that is being given? 100 minus 72 divided by 100, correct? That is nothing but 28% is the net discount that is being given. So this is the concept of successive discount. In successive discount, what we have to remember is that after every discount, the next discount that is given is calculated on the new price, okay, that was given after the discount. Now to solve this questions on successive discount, in two ways you can solve this question. See, this was an easy percentage, so I have just done it like this. One way of doing it is, see, there is 100, actual price of the article is 100 rupees. First I am giving a discount of 10%, means 100 into 90 by 100, correct? That is going to be my new price of the article. So in this new price of the article, again I am giving a discount of 20%. So what will be the final price of the article? 80% of this value, correct? So into 80 by 100. So this is one way of solving it. Now the effective percentage formula that we used in percentages is very useful here. Okay, so if you are using the effective percentage formula, what was the effective percentage formula we learned? See, if there are two variables whose value keep like changing at A percentage and B percentage, the effective percentage is defined as A plus B plus AB by 100. You can apply this formula here to calculate the net discount. Okay, so for this question it will be 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20, correct? That is 200 by 100. Sorry, remember here in this question it is a discount. Okay, discount means both the terms should be negative. Why? Because see, he is giving a discount of 10%, the price is reducing by 10%, the price is reducing by 20%. So you should be careful of the sign that you put here. So what will be your answer? Minus 30 plus 2, that is minus 28, or the net discount is going to be 28%. Basically this minus represents that there is a decrease in the effective percentage, or there is a 28% will be your final discount, okay, after the two successive discounts of 10% and 20%. So I hope it is clear. Successive discounts can be solved in two ways. One is using this method and the other one is using this effective percentage formula. See, this method, if you are using, you have a formula, right? 100, that is whatever is the cost price of the article into 100 minus D1, correct? The first discount percentage that is offered by 100 into 100 minus D2 divided by 100. Now if there are more terms, keep multiplying into 100 minus D3 divided by 100 and so on. Okay, so these are the two ways in which you can solve questions on successive discounts. I hope it's clear. So let's move on to the questions for today's session. So this is the first question for today's session. Okay, let's start solving questions. Mehul sold an item for rupees 5625 and incurred a loss of 25%. At what price should he have sold the item to gain a profit of 25%? All of you are getting the answer as 9375. Okay. What is given? See, if I am assuming that the cost price of the article, let that be X. So what is this 5625? He is selling it at a loss of 25%. So at what price is he selling it for? He is selling the article for 75% of its value. 75% of its value means he is selling it for 3/4 of the value of the article, correct? So 3 by 4 X is equal to 5625, correct? So what is X? X is the cost price. Now the question is, at what price should he have sold the item to gain a profit of 25%? So to gain a profit of 25% means at what price should he sell the article for? He should be selling it for 125 by 100 of X, or he should sell it for 5 by 4 of X, correct? This should be his selling price. So here what can we say? X is equal to 5625 into 4 by 3, correct? So I just put X here. So what should be the selling price so that he gets that profit? It is nothing but 5 by 4 into 5625 into 4 by 3. Okay, for this gets cancelled. 5625 divided by 3 will be 1875. So you multiply that, the answer you get will be 9375. See, this question is very easy. Only one small thing that you can do is converting the fractions. Converting them into fractions will be, that is converting the percentage, because 25% is 25% loss, right? So that is 75% is nothing but 3 by 4 and 125 by 100 is nothing but 5 by 4. So if you know these two, actually you needn't write any of these steps. Directly you can write this, and don't try to simplify and try to find the cost price. See, the cost price is actually not required here at all. Okay, just substitute it directly and then cancel out and you will get the answer. Now let's move on to the next question. An article was bought for rupees 5600. Its price was marked up by 12%. Thereafter, it was sold at a discount of 5% on the market price. What was the market price of the article? So how do you solve this? Solve it and give me the answer. Actually, this is a paragraph question, okay? There is one more question that is following the same given information. I think this was asked in a clerk's paper. I don't remember the year, but this was asked in IBPS clerks. See, the first question is very easy. Now, an article was bought for 5600 and its price was marked up by 12%. So, what is the cost price of the article? The cost price of the article is 5600, correct? And the price is marked up by 12%. So, marked up by 12% means what is the marked price of the article? The cost price into the markup percentage, correct? Into, here it is, either you can do 12 by 100 and add it with 5600, else just do 5600 into 112 by 100. What will be our new price? 5600 into 1 plus 12 by 100, or that is equal to 5600 into 100 plus 12 by 100, that is 112 by 100. See, these steps and all we needn't do, correct? So directly from this you can solve and find the answer. Or you can also say that if 100 percentage, correct, is 5600, then 112 percentage is what? So again, you didn't write these two steps itself directly. 5600 into 112 by 100. That is your answer. Okay, this is the concept. This is the easy way of doing it. So the answer for this question is, if you solve this, you will get the answer as 6272. 272, yeah, option E. I think everybody has got option E, no confusions there. So now let's move on to the next question. Again, from the same paragraph, what was the profit percentage on the transaction? See, when these questions are coming, no, there is an article, its price is increasing by some percentage, then decreasing. Whenever such questions come, see if you can use the effective percentage formula. If that can be used, that is the smart way of solving the question, and we will be able to arrive at the answer faster. So for this question, what are they saying? First, the price was marked up by 12%, correct? Then what is doing? Then they are giving a discount of 5%. So now we should know what is the net percentage profit in the transaction. So try to use the effective percentage formula. So what is happening? We know effective percentage formula is A plus B plus AB by 100, correct? Here what is A is plus 12. This is minus 5. B is minus 5 because there is a decrease. It's a discount, that is negative. So minus 5. So A into B is minus, correct? Because B is negative, A is positive. So this will become minus 12 into 5, that is 60 by 100, or that is equal to 7 minus 0.6, or that is equal to 6.4%. So answer for this question is 6.4%. See, if this question actually comes in the exam, solve it only in this way. I am not saying that the other way is difficult, but that will take more time. Okay. So the actual conceptual way of solving it would be, it is marked up by 12%. So in the previous question, we found out what the marked price was. So give a discount of 5% on that marked price. That is the marked price into 95 by 100, correct? That will be your final selling price. Then look at the selling price and the cost price and find the profit percentage. That is too much of a time-taking process. So best is to solve in this way. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is this. A company blends two varieties of tea from two different tea gardens, one variety costing 20 per kg and the other costing 25 per kg in the ratio 5:4. He sells the blended tea at 23 per kg. Find his profit percentage. This is also a very, very easy question. Just put in numbers. The trick to solve this question is try to put in numbers so that we are able to solve the questions faster. Whenever, generally in profit and loss, this is one type of questions that we see where they are blending two varieties. See, remember, it is nothing to do with allegations, mixtures and all. Very, very basic thing. Like I am buying, see, just assume that you are buying something from the shop, two different things, mixing it together and selling. So that is the only concept that is involved in such questions. Try solving it. See, the question very clearly they have given, find the profit percentage. Correct, Neeraj? So actually we should be cutting out these options, right? 3.5 loss. Find his profit percentage means tell us what his profit is. Very easy question. See, okay, a lot of you have given me the correct answers also. 3.5% profit is the correct answer. Okay, so see, first let us see what is the ratio that is given here. There are two types, okay, type 1 and type 2. They are mixed in the ratio of 5:4. So the easiest numbers, when solving such questions, go with numbers, taking some numbers. Now, let us just assume that we have 5 kg of T1 and 4 kg of T2. Okay, this is the easiest numbers that you can choose for the quantity of T1 and T2, correct? Because they are mixed in the ratio 5:4. Now, what is the price of this T1? T1 variety is costing 20 rupees per kg. T2 variety is costing 25 rupees per kg. So, totally how much am I spending? 1 kg is costing 20 rupees means totally T1 will cost 20 into 5 or 100 rupees. How much will T2 cost? 25 into 4 or 100 rupees. So what is my total cost price? My total cost price, okay, that is total amount that I spend on T1 and T2 is nothing but 100 plus 100, or that is 200 rupees. I am spending 200 rupees. At what price am I selling it? Totally how many kgs do I have? I have 9 kgs of tea right now, and each kg I am selling it for 23 rupees. So what is my total selling price? 9 into 23, that is 207. So definitely I have a profit. That is nothing but 207 minus 200 by 200 into 100. Correct? That's my profit. That is 7 by 2, or that is equal to 3.5%. See, when you get 207 itself, you know that it is not going to be 5% profit, but since there is none of these options, we have to still check what the correct answer is, and the correct answer is option C. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So the next question is there on the screen. A shopkeeper bought 30 kg of wheat at the rate of rupees 45 per kg. He sold 40% of the total quantity at the rate of 50 per kg. At approximately at what price per kg should he sell the remaining quantity to make 25% overall profit? So try to solve this and give me the answer for this one. See, in a topic like profit and loss, there will be no concept or anything that any of us are not aware of. All of us know this. Only important thing is the way in which we approach the problem, so we are able to arrive at the answer faster. So what is given? A shopkeeper is buying 30 kg of wheat at a rate of 45 per kg. So what is the cost price of the shopkeeper? 30 into 45. Correct? See, all this 30 into 45 and all, you needn't write it in the exam because I am explaining it to you in the class. I am writing all this. So the cost price is 1350. He sold 40% of the total quantity at a rate of 50 per kg. For what is 40%? 40% is nothing but in terms of fractions. Okay, 40% is nothing but 2 by 5. Correct? So how much is he selling? He is selling 2 by 5 of the 30 kgs. Correct? Or he is selling 12 kgs. So this 12 kgs, he is selling it at what price? At 50 rupees per kg. So what is the selling price of the 12 kgs? That is, let me take it as selling price 1. So the selling price of the 12 kgs is nothing but 12 into 50, that is equal to 600. So he is selling the 12 kgs for 600 rupees. Now the question is, at what price should he sell the remaining 18 kgs? Okay, into at what price should he sell so that the total profit is 25%. So what is the actual selling price or the final selling price that he should have so that he is getting a 25% profit? See, this cost price, okay, into 1350 into 125 by 100, correct? That is nothing but 5 by 4. So this is his actual selling price. This is the price at which he has sold the full stuff for. Okay, so if this has to be the final selling price, what should be the price per kg of this 18 kgs? Okay, so 1350 into 5 by 4, correct? So actually 4 will not go correctly in this because the last 2 digits are 50, right? 50 is not exactly divisible by 4, so this is actually 337.5. So you multiply these two, you get 1686.5. Okay, we can actually, okay, let's take it as 1686. Let it be there. Okay, now the total selling, so this should be his total selling price to get an overall profit of 25%. Now the first 40% he has sold it for 600 rupees. So what should be the selling price of the remaining 60%? It should be 1686.5 minus 600, or that is 1086.5. Okay, so the selling price of this total selling price should be 1086. We are approximating it and taking. So 1086 means, see, we know 108 divided by 18 is 6, correct? Because 18 into 6 is 108. So I can say that x is approximately how much? It is 60 point some value. Anyway, they have given approximate values here. So I can take x is equal to 60. Actual answer would be 60 point some value. 1080, correct? Divided by 18, we know is 60. Here we have 1086, but since the options are also approximated, directly you just do 1080 by 18, that is 60, and you just take the answer as 60, that is option D. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. A shopkeeper marks price 25% more than the cost price of that article and gives a discount of 10% on the marked price. If the marked price of the article is 2500 rupees, how much profit will the shopkeeper gain after selling the article? So solve this question. Next one. See, in this question, the percentages that they have given is very easy, and the marked price is also a value. It's such a value that very easily you can calculate. Even without in mind, we can calculate and just write down the numbers. See, in the question, what is the marked price? The marked price is given as 2,500 and he is offering a discount of 10%. So the marked price is 2,500, discount of 10% is offered on the marked price, correct? So 10% of 2,500 is 250. So what is the price at which he is selling it for? 2,500 minus 250, or that is equal to 2250. This is his selling price. Now how much okay, and it is also given that he is marking the article at 25% more than the cost price, correct? So what is it? It is nothing but cost price into 5 by 4, correct? That is equal to 2,500. So what is his actual cost price? Cost price is 2,500 into 4 by 5, or that is equal to 2,000. Okay, so if this is the cost price and this is the selling price, what is the profit that he has made? 2250 minus 2,000, correct? That is 250. So answer is option A. So hope the explanation is clear. Let's move on to the next question. The profit earned after selling a wristwatch for rupees 4080 is same as the loss incurred after selling the same wristwatch for rupees 3650. What is the cost price of the wristwatch? Again, this question might seem a bit difficult, but it is a very easy question. So see this question, what are they giving? The profit earned after selling a wristwatch for 480 same as the loss incurred. So let me assume that the cost price of the article is X. So what is the profit that I get when I sell it for 4080? It is nothing but 4080 minus X. This is the profit that I get when I sell the watch for 4080, correct? Now if I sell the watch for 3650, what is the loss that I get? The loss that I make, that will be nothing but the cost price minus the price at which I am selling it, correct? That is my loss. What is given in the question? The profit is equal to the loss. See, the profit that I make in this case is equal to the loss I make in this case. Just equate these two. 4080 minus X is equal to X minus 3650. You solve, you get X is equal to 7730 by 2. Yeah, take it to the other side, 7730 by 2, or that is equal to 3865. Okay, very easy question. Now see, when they suddenly give it like this, some of us have a tendency to write the selling price is X into 100 plus R by 100 is equal to 4080 and all that. None of these is required. Very basic question, okay, and can be solved very easily. Let's move on to the next question. Ritu sold 2 hens for rupees 105 each. On one, she lost 25%. On the other, she gained 50%. What is her net gain or loss? Okay, so let's solve the question. See, those of you who gave me the answer as B, I think you have just done 50 minus 25 and that is 25. I told you previously also that's not the way in which you approach the problem. Okay, now let us first understand what is asked in the question. See, there are 2 hens. Okay, let us take SP1, selling price of the first hen, that is equal to 105, correct? Selling price of the second hen, that is also equal to 105. So he is selling 2 hens, or Ritu is selling 2 hens for 105 each. Okay, on the first hen she lost 25%. So what does that mean? This first hen, okay, this is the hen 1 and this is the hen 2. This hen 1, she is losing 25%, means she is selling this hen for 75% of the cost price of the hen. Or if I am saying that the cost price of this hen is CP1, she is selling it for 3/4 of its value, correct? 3/4 of the cost price of this hen she is selling it for. So what is this 3/4 CP1? That is equal to 105, correct? Similarly, they are given that the second hen she gained 50%. So what does that mean? If the cost price of the second hen is CP2, she is selling the second hen for, she is gaining 50%, correct? So she is selling it for 150 by 100, correct? 150 by 100 of the cost price, okay? So that is what she is selling it for. So and this is equal to 105, correct? So 150 by 100 is nothing but 3 by 2, correct? So 3 by 2 of CP2 is equal to 105. So from this you can find the value of CP1 and CP2, that is the cost price of the first hen and the cost price of the second hen. So what is the cost price of the first hen? It is nothing but 105 into 4 by 3. 105 by 3 is 35, am I right? Correct. 35 into 4, correct? So this is equal to 140. Cost price of the second hen, that is equal to again 105 into 2 by 3. So 105 into 2 by 3 is again 35 into 2, correct? This will again be 35. 35 into 2 is equal to 70. So what is the total cost price that she has spent on both the hens is 140 plus 70, that is 210. Now what is her total selling price? Her total selling price is going to be given, no, 105 plus 105, that's also equal to 210. So there is no profit and no loss. Okay, let's move on to the next question. A merchant bought some goods worth rupees 6,000 and sold half of them at 12% profit. At what profit percentage should he sell the remaining goods to make an overall profit of 18%? Okay, a lot of you are giving me the answer as 24. Let's solve it. So a merchant bought some goods for 6,000 rupees and sold half of them at 12%. So he is selling goods worth 3,000 rupees. Okay, 3,000 rupees worth goods, he is selling them at 12% profit. So what is the selling price of the first half? He is selling them at 12% profit, means 3,000 into 12 by 112 by 100, correct? So either you can do it that way or 3,000 into 12 by 100, more easier to calculate, no? The 12% of 3,000, you know what is 12% of 3,000? It is nothing but 360. So he will be selling it for 3,000 plus 360, correct? So that is 3360. See, these things you can do it in your mind and directly write because the numbers are very easy. Okay, so one way of doing it is directly writing 3000 into 112 by 100 and you have to multiply 112 into 3. That's also easy only, but I would suggest if we directly in our mind we know 12% of 3000 is nothing but 3 into 12 is 36, right? So 360. We know it is 360, just 3000 plus 360 is 3360. So the first half he is selling it for 3360. Now the question is, at what profit percentage should he sell the remaining goods to make an overall profit of 18%? So actually what is his final selling price? That is, see, he has to sell this 6,000 for 18% profit. Again here 18 into 6 is what? 108, correct? So again 18 by 100, see, we know this is equal to 1080, correct? So 6,000 plus 1080, that is his final selling price has to be 7080. See, I hope you understand why I am writing it this way. Actually the final selling price at which he sells, okay, generally how we will do it? We will do it 6,000 into 100 plus 18 by 100, that is 6,000 into 118 by 100, correct? You will still get the same answer, but for easy simplifying the calculation, what I just did is 6,000 into 18% of 6,000 we know is 1080, just add that to 6,000, you get the final selling price. So this is his final selling price and this is the price at which he has sold half of the items. So what is the price at which he should have sold the remaining half? 7080 minus 3360, or he should have sold the remaining half at 3720. Now 3720 means actual worth of those articles is what? Actual worth of those articles is only 3,000 and he is making a profit of 720 rupees in it. So at what profit percentage should he sell it? 720 divided by 3,000 into 100. So if 72 by 3 is 24, the answer is 24. That is option A. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. What is the maximum percentage discount that a merchant can offer on her marked price so that she ends up selling at no profit or loss if she had initially marked her goods up by 50%? Okay, so how do we solve this? Best way will be to take some numbers and try. Okay, so let us assume that 100 rupees. Okay, let that be the what is the maximum percentage discount that a merchant can offer on her marked price so that she ends up selling at no profit and loss if she had initially marked her goods by 100%. So let the cost price of the article be 100. Okay, so what is the marked price? He has marked it up by 50%, correct? So his marked price is going to be 150. Okay, now what are they asking? What is the maximum discount that he can offer on the marked price? So what is the maximum discount that he can offer on the marked price so that there is no loss or no profit? See, if he is offering a discount of 50 rupees, okay, the actual cost of the article is 100 rupees and he has marked it up to 150 rupees. Now if he is giving a discount of 50 rupees, what will be his selling price? His selling price will again come back to 100 and he will have no profit or no loss. Okay, now they are asking you for the maximum discount percentage. So the maximum discount that he can give is 50. So what will be the discount percentage? The discount percentage is nothing but the discount divided by the marked price into 100. Correct? So solve this. This is 10 by 3, or that is equal to 33 point, sorry, this is 100, right? 100 cancels, that is 33.33%. Option D. So this question is very easy, no? Nothing much, just put in values, you get the answer fast. Let's move on to the next question. Zara bought eggs at the rate of 5 for rupees 7 and sold them at the rate of 7 for rupees 10 and made 2450 in the bargain. How many eggs did Zara deal in? So what is the answer for this question? Any of you got the answer for this question? Let's start solving the question. See, what have they given? Zara bought eggs at the rate of 5 for rupees 7. So what does that mean? She gets 5 eggs, okay, for 7 rupees. And she is selling them at the rate of 7 for rupees 10. So this is her cost price, correct? Now her selling prices, she is selling 7 eggs at the rate of rupees 10. Okay, now and she has made 2450 in the bargain. See, the actual way in which you solve the question will be, what is the cost of one egg? It is 7 by 5. What is the selling price of one egg? It is 10 by 7. So what is the profit that she makes? 10 by 7 minus 7 by 5. Now let's not get into all this. This is actually very difficult to do. Let us try out a different method to solve the question, or a smart way to solve the question. See, it is given that she is buying 5 eggs, correct? 5 eggs for 7 rupees, and then she is buying 7 eggs for 10 rupees. I mean, she is selling 7 eggs for 10 rupees. So what I try to do is, we have to find out some number, okay, some number of eggs with which we can equate these two, okay. Now, see, what is the LCM of 7 and 5? It is 35, correct. So what can I say? If I know that the cost price of 5 eggs is 7 rupees, what is the cost price of 35 eggs? Cost price of 35 eggs is 7 5s are, correct, 7 7s are 49. Cost price of 5 eggs is 7 rupees. So cost price of 35 eggs is 49 rupees. Similarly, what is the selling price of 35 eggs? Selling price of 35 eggs is equal to, again, 10 into 5, correct? 10 5s are 50 rupees. So, see, how did I arrive at this number 35? Basically, I am trying to find some number with which both I can equate both the cases. Okay, here we have only 5 eggs, here 7 eggs. Basically, I am trying to equate both in some way so that I can arrive at the answer faster. Okay, so I took the LCM of 7 and 5, and I know that cost price of 35 eggs is 49 rupees and selling price of 35 eggs is 50 rupees. So with this information, what can we say? We can say that for every 35 eggs, okay, for every 35 eggs she sells, what is happening? She is getting a profit of 1 rupee. Correct? Here for cost price of 35 eggs is 49, selling price of 35 eggs is 50 rupees. So for every 30 eggs she is getting a 1 rupees profit. Okay, so now how much profit? I mean, and she has made 2450 in the bargain. Okay, so if she has made 2450 in the bargain, to get a total profit of 2450, she should have totally dealt with 2450 into 35 eggs. Correct? So this is your answer, or that is equal to 85750. Hope it's clear. That is option B. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, the next question, a very easy question, a very standard question in profit and loss. So what is given? The cost price of 12 pence is equal to the selling price of 8 pence. Or I can say, let the cost price of 1 pen be CP and cost price of selling price of 1 pen be SP. All that I'm sure you know, I'm just explaining. 12 times the cost price is equal to 8 times the selling price. Correct? So I can say 12 CP is equal to 8 SP, or what have they asked? The gain percentage is what? So what is happening for every, or I can say cost price is equal to 2 by 3 of the selling price, correct? Or cost price by selling price is equal to 2 by 3. So the gain percentage is what? The gain percentage is nothing but the selling price minus the cost price by the cost price into 100, or just take everything in one term, either the cost price or the selling price. So you just take selling price. If this is SP, the cost price will be what? 2 by 3 SP divided by 2 by 3 SP into 100. Now if you do this, you get the answer as 50%. Right? So the answer for this question is 50%. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is there on your screen. A man gains 20% by selling an article for a certain price. If he sells it at double the price, the percentage of profit will be. See, to solve such questions, best is take the cost price of the article as 100, okay, and then try to find out. So if the cost price of the article is 100, what is going to be the selling price? He is selling it at, he gains 20%, correct? So he is selling for 120 rupees. Now if he sells it at double the price, so double the price means double of 120. What is double of 120? 120 plus 120, that is 240, correct? So if he is selling it for 240, then what would be his profit? Very easy, no? 240 minus 100 by 100, that is, we know directly 140%. That is option B. Assume 100 is the cost price. So the step I am not writing, you know, it's very clear, no? 240, that is the profit divided by the cost price into 100. That is 140%. All this you can do it in the mind. You needn't write all this. Directly you can say. This is a good question. Now this is where the dishonest seller problems. The next question is of that type. A shopkeeper sells article on cost price, but he uses 900 grams in place of 1 kg. Find his profit percentage. So to solve this dishonest seller problems, the main thing that we should know is we should understand what is given in the question. If you understand the information that is given in the question and you are able to decipher the information correctly, you can get the answer in one step. That's all is required. Okay. Now see what is given. A shopkeeper sells an article on cost price. Okay. Now let us assume how much is he selling. He is selling 1000 grams, correct? 1 kg. Okay, he is saying that I am selling 1 kg for whatever correct price only I am selling. And what is he using? He is using 900 grams in place of 1 kg. Okay, so a place where he has to actually use 1000 grams, he is only using 900 grams and he is saying that he is selling 1000 grams. So what does that mean? For every 900 grams, okay, he is actually only selling 900 grams, correct? But he is claiming to be selling 1000 grams. I am converting everything into grams and saying instead of kgs, okay, because here they have given in terms of grams. So for every 900 grams he is selling, he claims that he is selling 1000 grams, or that means that for every 900 grams he is gaining the cost of 100 grams, correct? This is what he is getting, the cost of 100 grams of the article. That is what he is getting as profit. So what is the profit percentage that he is making? The profit he is making is for every 100 gram out of every 900 gram, this into 100. So that is equal to, if you solve this, you get this is equal to 11 1 by 9 percentage. Answer is 11 1 by 9. Is it clear, guys? Yeah. Now let's move on to the next one. Again, dishonest dealer problem. With a earlier they had given us the weight, right? Now they have given us the percentage and asked us to find the weight. So how do you solve this one? A dishonest dealer prefers to sell his goods at cost price, but he uses less weight for a kg weight and gains 4 1/6%. What does he use for a kg weight? So again here both ways you can do. Either do it with the formula that true value minus false value by false value into 100, or you know the concept also, like how we did for the previous problem, directly you will get the answer. So let's solve it. See, we'll solve it both ways. With see, if you are using the formula, what do? The true value. See, actually how much should he sell? He is saying that he is selling 1000 grams, correct? But what is he doing? There is some, he is only selling lesser amount, correct? So let me assume that the amount that he is actually selling, okay, let that be x grams. If he is selling only x, and this is the false, x grams, okay, this is what he is actually selling, but he is claiming to sell 1000 grams. So when he is doing this, he is gaining 4 1/6%. So if you are using the formula, the formula is this, the true weight, correct? The true weight minus the false weight divided by the false weight into 100. That will be his gain percentage, correct? So the true weight is actually 1000 grams. The false weight is x divided by x into 100. That is equal to 4/1/6. So if you solve this, you get the answer. This is how you approach it with the formula. Now if you are not approaching it with the formula, again very easy to solve. So what is he doing? Actually he is selling only x grams, okay? Now by selling this x grams, what is he doing? He is gaining 1000 minus x grams, correct? For example, if he is selling only 900 grams, he is gaining how much? 1000 minus 900, correct? That was how we did in the previous problem. So here for every x gram that he sells, he is gaining 1000 minus x grams. So this is his profit that he is making by doing this. So what is the percentage gain that he is making? It is nothing but 1000 minus x divided by x into 100. So this is same as the formula, but this is how we arrived at the formula, or this is the concept that has been used. So just solve for this, you get the value of x as 960 grams. Everybody is getting that? Yes, all of you have got it. So let's move on to the next question. So this is again that T problem, right? That mixing of two quantities. Now give me the answer for this. Very similar to the previous problem that we did on this type. A producer of tea blends two varieties of tea from two tea gardens, one costing rupees 18 per kg and another rupees 20 per kg in the ratio 5:3. If he sells the blended variety at rupees 21 per kg, then his gain percentage is dash. So see what is given here. There are two types of rice, okay, two types of tea. They are mixed in the ratio 5:3. So I am assuming that we have, again let us take the easiest numbers that we can. Let us assume that we have 5 kg of T1 and 3 kg of T2. Okay, why I am choosing 5 and 3? Because they are the easiest numbers to take, to be in the ratio 5:3, and we will be able to calculate. So here now what is the price per kg of first type of tea is 18. So the total price of T1 will be 18 into 5, or that is equal to 90, correct? And the total price for the type 2 tea, that is 20 into 3, correct? 20 rupees per kg, 3 kgs are there, that is 60. So my total cost price, okay, is going to be 90 plus 60, that is equal to 150. Now what is he doing? He is selling the variety at 21 per kg. So totally how many kgs does he have? He has 8 kgs. So he is selling it for 168 rupees. So this is his selling price, this is his cost price. So what is the profit that he makes? He makes 18 rupees as profit, correct? And his cost, that is, so profit divided by the cost price, that will give you your profit percentage, or that is equal to 12%. So answer for this question is option A. So now let's move on to the next question. A manufacturer of certain item can sell all he can produce at the selling price of rupees 60 each. It costs him rupees 40 in materials and labor to produce each item, and he has overhead expenses of rupees 3000 per week in order to operate the plant. The number of units he should produce and sell in order to make a profit of at least rupees 1000 per week is dash. So solve this and give me the answer. So how do we solve this? See, a manufacturer of a certain item can sell all he produces. Selling price is 60 rupees. Okay. Now it is costing him 40 rupees in the materials and the labor, and every week he has to pay 3000 rupees as overhead expenses. So what is his total cost? Okay, what is his total cost price? That is, what does it cost him in total? Let us assume that he is producing X units every week. Okay, if he is producing X units every week, 40X will be the actual cost price of the X units, correct? Plus he is also paying 3000 rupees overhead expenses. So this is going to be his total cost. This 40 is the cost for labor and produce for each item. He has to spend 40 rupees. So he is producing X item, means 40X will be the total cost of labor and produce for the X units that he is producing, and plus 3000 for the operating the plant. Now what are they saying? See, he is selling each item for 60 rupees. So what is his total selling price? His total selling price is 60X, correct? So his total cost is this much. He is selling it at 60X. Now he has to make a profit of 1000 rupees per week. So if he has to make a profit of 1000 rupees per week, your selling price minus cost price has to be 1000. Correct? Your selling price minus cost price has to be 1000, or I can say 60X minus 40x plus 3000, this is equal to 1000. So if you simplify this, what do you get? You get 20x is equal to, take this that side, 4000, or you get x is equal to 200. So the answer for this question is option A. Yeah. Now you can actually do it in one step also. See here, selling price is 60, cost price is 40. So 20 rupees per item he is getting. Take this 3000 into consideration. You can directly write 20x minus 3000 is equal to value 1000. Directly you will get the answer. See, this is one way of doing it. Here there are a lot of steps involved, right? Now, by looking at the question, also what can we say? For each item he is gaining 20 rupees, correct? So if he is selling X items, what will be the total profit that he gains in all these X items? He is gaining 20x. Correct. Now we know that the total profit he gains is 1000. So when you calculate the total profit, you should also take into consideration this cost. So 20x minus 3000, that is going to be his net profit. Okay. This is equal to 1000, means directly you get the answer as x is equal to 200. So this is the easier way of solving it in one step. If you are not comfortable with this way, this is also fine. It will take you 2 or 3 extra seconds to solve it. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is there on your screen. Mr. Kumar invests rupees 24,000 in some shares in the ratio 3:4:5, which pays dividends of 20%, 25% and 10% on his investment for that year respectively. Find his dividend income. Let us see, 24,000 he is investing, okay, in the ratio 3:4:5. So first we have to find how many shares he has invested, correct, on for each company. So 3:4:5 means 3 plus 4 plus 5 is what? 7 plus 5, 12. So 3/12 of this 24,000 he is investing in the share 1, okay, and what is that equal to? 3 by you just cancel this 2, correct, 6,000 shares. So he is investing 6,000 shares of type 1. Then the next one, 4/12, okay, out of the total 12, 4/12 he is investing in the second share. So 4/12 into 24,000, that is just nothing but 1/3 into 24,000, or that is equal to 8,000, correct. So 8,000 rupees he is investing on the next share. Now on the third share, he is investing how much? 5/12. 5/12 of 24,000 is again, see, all this you needn't write, you can do it in your mind, okay. He is investing 10,000 rupees. I am just writing it so that it's clear for everybody. So once you get these three, now what are they saying? In the first one, okay, there is the first thing is the first share is paying a dividend of 20%. So what is the dividend that he is getting from the first share? 6,000 into 20/100, 20% of 6,000. What is that? That is equal to 1,200, correct. Now in the next second share, okay, he is getting how much dividend? He is getting a dividend of 25%. So 8,000, 1/4, 25% is 1/4. So 1/4 of 8,000 is 2,000. So he is getting a dividend of 2,000. So for the third company, he is getting a dividend of 10%. So if it is 10,000, 10% of 10,000 is very easy, that is 1,000. So what is the total dividend that he gets? Adding all the three, that is 4,200. Very easy question, no? Answer is option A. So this was a clerk's question, IBPS clerks, that's why its difficulty level is easier, okay. Hope this is clear and none of you need explanation for this. A very, very easy question this was. So I think with that, we have come to an end of the questions that we have chosen for today's session. So all the very best with your preparation, guys, and I'll see you in the next session, and this is Gayatri signing off.